Welcome to Popup Porch Party number 3. It's the third of what we hope will be many backyard pop-up concerts here in Easthampton. It is the first one, though, of 3 that are funded through an Easthampton City Arts Artist Grants Initiative grant, and we're very appreciative of that support. Easthampton City Arts is helping out artists during this time when they are all having such tremendous needs. And that's what this series is intended to do as well. It's intended to create income and community for our artist friends who have really lost most of both of those things during this COVID crisis. This is one of the projects that I'm doing through the greater umbrella of Pass the Song, Pass the Hat, that are all different sorts of events, mostly online, to create community and income for artists and for those of us who love live music and poetry also. I want to encourage you, if you don't already, to follow Pass the Song, Pass the Hat on social media. I also want to encourage you to join the email list, Pass the Song, Pass the Hat at Gmail. Just email that if you want to get on the email list so that you get notifications that way. So today's artist is Diana Alvarez, who I'm so grateful to call a friend. I want to ask you, if you can, to support this artist, not just with your applause, not just by following her on social media and getting on her email list, which you should definitely do, but also by making a contribution to her if you're able. Her Venmo is Diana-Alvarez311, or you can support the Bridge Song Fund in her honor, which you can find at ima.org/bridgesong. So please listen and enjoy. Thank you for being here and being part of the community that we're forming around these events and supporting the artists. And again, if you're able to make a financial contribution, please do. And now, please welcome Diana.
Blessed be our children who are afraid we won't protect them from our demons. Blessed be our children who are afraid we won't protect them from our demons. A prayer for the prism soul of George Floyd. We are a we that refuses family, one massive organism on one planet, born from stars, birthing stars, crushing stars, creating scars with our bullets, with our words, with our silence, with our worship of invented paper. Can we imagine something different? We are capable of imagining the sanctity of blue irises, the alabaster skin of Jesus, the boots whose brown leather, shined by brown fingers, begs to be pulled upward, the labor exploitation of Santa, the happiness of poverty, the cleansing of La Raza with pure Spaniard blood, the discovery of Colón, who fed infants to dogs. Will we keep feeding our infants to dogs? We imagine the righteousness of our murders in parking lots, parks, churches, grocery stores, street corners, cars, in homes not our own, in centuries past, present, and future that we will not own. We imagine the purity of our light and love hearts, steeped in the steady death of our kin, but glowing with emoji sparkles. Blessed be our children who are afraid we won't protect them from our demons. Blessed be our children who are afraid. Madre Tierra, I beg you, do not let us lose hope. Do not let us lose our ancestral inheritance, vision for a future we can hold. Blessed be our children who beg us to imagine the brilliance of black skin and soul thriving in the sun. Thank you. I was born by the river in a little tent, and just like that river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, and will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I go to the movies and I go downtown. Somebody keeps telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Lord, there've been times that I thought I couldn't last for long, but now I know I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been a long time coming, but I know, yes, I know, change better come. Thank you. I haven't performed live for people in like 4 months, so now I'm like, why are y'all looking at me?
What's that weird sound out there?
I'm used to doing this in front of my little laptop now. I'm really grateful for everybody that's tuned in and for folks who decided to show up right now. I really appreciate seeing you here and your presence. That first piece, a prayer for the prism soul of George Floyd, is a reminder that we are trained and we are steeped in a world that teaches us to be afraid to say that Black Lives Matter, that is a radical thing, and it's not a radical thing. So it's just a reminder. Most of our anti-racism work and our liberation work is just a reminder of what Black women and what queer Black people have already told us. So there's plenty of work out there, we just have to listen. This is Para la Historia. It's an original song that's part of my opera, Quiero Volver, a Chicanx ritual opera. And it sounds like a lullaby, but it's a liberation song. I always have to say that. I always couch that. Es inútil tu manera de atravesar mis fronteras. Soy humo, soy fuego de tierra que no puedes sujetar. Tus palabras traicioneras son oraciones de odio. Mi gente repleta de sueños no deja de luchar. Cuando cantes tus canciones de generales y de libertad, recuerda las soldaderas hermanas que no puedes borrar. Para la historia, para la historia. Las soldaderas, las peleoneras, esta es la revolución. I'm so happy to be here with fellow artists. Thank you, Julian. Thank you, Jess, for the photos, and thank you, Amber Black, for hosting this beautiful event. I'm going to talk to you about the Bridge Song Fund. The Bridge Song Fund is something that I created back in March in collaboration with the Institute for the Musical Arts out in Goshen. And it just really came from a conversation of feeling the storm coming and knowing in my gut that the people who are always affected the most, Black, Indigenous, people of color, and queer and trans people, would be experiencing the effects of COVID the most. I know this because all of my research and work focuses on this, and my research is just what I have known in my body all my life. So the Bridge Song Fund distributes grants of $500 to artists. They're unrestricted grants from the Institute of the Musical Arts, and they are just for sustenance. And we all know that $500 is not a lot, but it is something to help people stay afloat, to pay one or two bills, to buy groceries, to help with medical expenses. So we have funded 13 artists up to this point with grassroots funding. So I'm really appreciative of anyone that has contributed. Thank you so much. You made that possible. You did that for your queer, local, Black, Indigenous people of color, people who identify as BIPOC, women, non-binary, trans, and genderqueer artists. Musicians are encouraged to apply, and this is also for people who work in music-related business. So if you are a photographer who works primarily with musicians, or an artist who collaborates primarily with musicians, and you are BIPOC and women, non-binary, trans, or genderqueer, you can apply. So today, that's when Amber asked me what the call for fundraising was, that I asked for donations to the Bridge Song Fund if you are able, in any amount. We are starting our new cycle for grants. And yes, please also contribute to my livelihood if you can. My Venmo is up. Okay, a lot of talking. This is a song that I wrote, but I feel like I'm on a learning journey with it always. You lounge atop your castle of gold. You roll around in your oil so no one will touch you. You rob friends, camouflage the truth. Your greed ain't good for no one. Your greed ain't good for no one, not even you. You lock children up in cages as they wait. You terrorize our families with your guns and your jails. You've built a wall around your heart, want others to follow suit. Your hate ain't good for no one. Your hate ain't good for no one, not even you. Pay up for the lives we've lost. Pay up for the damage you caused. Pay up your reparations to our relentless humanity. You punch a woman in her mouth por decirte no. You shove a door in my face for being queer. You sign away our rights with a deceitful pen. Your hands ain't good for no one. Your hands ain't good for no one, not even you. Back off your uninvited grabs. Disarm your entitled rage. Fist up for the revolution of our relentless humanity. Oh, others will. We will feed and tend to each other until we heal. We will build a village without walls, guns, or jails. Our hearts were built for building. Our hearts were built for building. Yes, even yours. Rise up with your indignation. Sing out for those who care. Fist up for the reclamation of our relentless humanity. We won't let it, we won't let it, we won't let it, we won't let it, we won't let it end this way, we won't let it end this way, my family won't let it end this way. Thank you. Whew, it's so nice to live stream with people, Amber. You recommend it. It's such a beautiful exchange of energy. And that's why we do this. And live streaming is a beautiful thing that we can do, but when we do it alone, it can be incredibly draining on the artist because we're just singing to the void. This is a song that I wrote for my queer familia, and I especially want to honor my Black trans familia and trans people. And in the song I say, you heal the wounds of our mothers, and that you do this with your queer body just by existing. So this is in honor of us. I love your queer hair. I love your queer mouth. I love the songs you write. I love the mountains you ride. You are a poet in the water. You are a stone with edges. You are a familiar prayer. You are the sound of fire. Don't let them take you away from me. You heal the wounds of our mothers. You smash the rules of tyrants. You and your queer body. I love your queer smile. Don't let them take you away from me. Don't let them take you away from us. We want more queer music. We want more queer love. We want more queer justice. We want. Thank you. I have one more song for you. Thank you so much for listening in and coming out and joining. I'm so grateful and just happy to see you. I hope you'll stay safe and find peace. This is a song called Todo se acaba, and I wrote it as a fierce pushback to oppression in my family and cycles of abuse. And when we think about white supremacist delusion, as author and poet Sonia Renee Taylor says, it is a cycle of abuse. And in this song, I speak to every part of my lineage. I speak to my grandmother, who I know was subject to a lot of abuse in her life, in her first marriage. And I speak to her and say, we will heal our wounds together. So I'm speaking to her in the past. And I also speak to sisters who die in solitude and because of bullets. And I also speak to the future. I speak to young people and I say, I know you're afraid of speaking, but we will march with hands together. So, Todo se acaba, the translation of the chorus is, even your hatred, even the violence of your voice, even the thought that you have the right to this body, everything will end. And this is a reminder to us that everything will end, everything that is painful will end, and also evil and hatred and racism and transphobia, homophobia, all of these things will end, and we are ending them. So this is Todo se acaba. And I'm very, I have no pretenses. I always end my set with it because it's just the closer of the set, everything ends. I'm very straightforward. It's the only straightforward thing about me.
Hasta el rencor, hasta la violencia de tu voz, hasta el pensamiento que tú tienes el derecho a este cuerpo, todo se acabará. Toditito, 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 toditito. Ay, mamá, yo sé que tú luchas para mí. Ay, abuela, yo sé que te ahorcan casi todos los días. Pero vamos a curar nuestras heridas. Toditito, 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 toditito. Hasta el rencor, hasta la violencia de tu voz, hasta el pensamiento que tú tienes el derecho a este cuerpo. Todo se acabará. Toditito, 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 toditito. Hermana, yo sé que nuestra soledad nos mata y las balas también. Ay, hija, yo sé que tienes miedo de hablar. Juntas vamos a luchar con manos juntas. Toditito, 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 toditito. Hasta el rencor, hasta la violencia todo se acabará, todo, todo. Hasta el rencor, hasta la violencia de tu voz, hasta el racismo, tu maldito pendejismo. Todo, todo se acabará.
Thank you so much. This was so lovely. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening in.
Support Diana with a contribution to
Yes,
the arts.
please contribute. Yes, please support the arts. Yes, support the Bridge Song Fund if you are able. And, you know, if you can't make a monetary contribution, it's great if you share it and tell people about it. You can follow the Bridge Song Fund on Facebook. And yes, you can also contribute to my livelihood. I do need it. Thank you so much.
What brought you here today?
One, I'm the City Arts Coordinator in Easthampton, Pascagoula, and this was the very first of the ECA Artist Grants coming to life. Amber's a recipient, and so I really wanted to be here to support, and I'm a huge fan of Diana's, and it's been my first time seeing live music in months, and the idea of being outside under a gigantic sky at the base of a beautiful mountain and to hear her voice and her words, they're always powerful, and to feel that today in our here and now was incredibly moving. I knew it would be, and it was more than I could even anticipate. So.
Did you have a favorite moment during the performance or something that has stuck with you?
It was like a favorite feeling, and it was Diana's voice and the mountain and the sky in like a reverb body feeling. That was very powerful. Her poem for George Floyd was very powerful. I always love how art and music call us and our attention to here and now, and to do so directly and explicitly is something I just really appreciate, and was happy or just felt very meaningful to be here and to share in that in a live together space.
That's great. So what brought you here today for today's show?
Well, I think three things. One, we are neighbors with Amber. We love live music and Diana Alvarez. And our daughter Jess is one of the wonderful photographers here for this event.
There's nothing like finding intimacy in music during a time when we've been separated physically.
So, as much as we can do to support artists during this time of isolation, I think it's really beholden of us to do that.
Yep. Yeah, we really need our artists.
Yeah.
Desperately. I feel like we need them more now, even while we're isolated.
And did you have a favorite moment or something that stuck in your head from the performance?
I really appreciated how she contextualized her performance, and it was an enjoyable, her voice is beautiful and it was great music, but it was also really naming what we're experiencing as a country.
Her last song was in Spanish. She introduced it in English to let us know what it was about if we don't know the language, and I just like that format. I like
Yeah.
to see an artist doing what they want to do, but also bridging it to others who might not understand what the lyrics are about, too.
Yeah.
So that's just the mark of a great artist, I think, who's doing her thing, but also making it accessible to others.
Diana's, in particular today, her clear articulation and support of Black trans people is so profound given where we're at with the overturning of trans protections in healthcare as of this week, yet again from the Trump administration. So to hear her sing, in particular Queer Love, which is one of my favorites of hers, was deeply personal and emotional in our world.
I mean, I loved her first sort of song poem when she sang about Blessed Be the Children, and watching our child photograph her during that song really felt powerful to me.
You know, this moment in time exists against a backdrop of all that is not this. So thank you.
It is not lost on me today, nor for the last 3 months, that today is the day that cultural chaos would have been happening. I hear myself say this quite a lot, is like I've been so aware of the presence of what is absent in the last few months, and so there is something in me that just has like a very personal appreciation to have something to share in today. In the absence of so much, it's like this little sprout that's this like really important reminder that life wants to live, it will, it does, and it requires our being here. And so it felt really good to share in that today.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see you, Julian.
Oh, it's very good to see you as well, Pascalina. Yeah.